Alright. Alright, let's go finish the second part of the Rising event. If you do this quest line, you get a frame for your, what you call it? Remembering the past. The determined set of your, all the dynamic presence, as if you're ever ready to leap into action. There's no mistake. You're an adventurer, and a dependable one at that. Tell me, are you familiar with the name Louis Levier? Yeah, of course I am. That name and his history has been drilled into my head. Of course you are. Of course you are. Forgive me, my suddenness. I am Nana Ninji? No G? A budding writer, and I seek to pen a biography of the great man. In particular, I wish to cover his movements leading up to the calamity. And to that end, I've requested an interview with the Immortal Flames. He served the Eorzean Alliance as a tactician, you see. There ought to be someone in the Order who had dealings with him. And while my request has thankfully been accepted, there's just one problem. I don't have much experience conducting interviews, and I'm worried whether I'll be able to do a proper job. As an adventurer, you're doubtless used to dealing with people. Thus, I would like to ask you to accompany me in the capacity of an assistant. I would be tremendously reassuring to simply have you watching on. And if you are amenable, afterwards, I'd like to interview you as well for your own impressions. For your troubles, I'll be certain to credit you as a collaborator. So please, won't you help me with my biography? That the memories of the calamity might be preserved for future generations. Why don't you just go to find his grandsons, Alice and Alpha? I'm in your debt. To begin with, please come with me to Camp Drybone in eastern Thunderland. There's a place I'd like to visit ahead of the interview. Dun, dun, dun. So yeah, I've been wanting to do this quest, but I keep putting it off because I had so much other things to do. Tried to do it last week. Honestly, I tried to do it last week, but then I was dragged into doing, whatchamacallit, mount farming. And now it seems to be every Tuesday. There you are, to explain why we're here. Oh, but I haven't even asked your name. How am I supposed to credit you if I don't even know that much? Ronald Stoppable. Ronald Stoppable. Well, it's Ron. It's Ronnie right now because female one. Champion of Eorzea. Small wonder I felt you were dependable. With one such as you helping me, everything will surely go well. But getting back to business, the interview I've arranged is with an officer of the Immortal Flames. As there's still time, however, I thought we'd pay a visit to the nearby graveyard first so I could explain my motivation for the biography. Why don't you just, like I said, talk to the twins? Or maybe find Scions of the Seventh Dawn? They would probably be well, they don't exist anymore, to be honest. I come from a small village near the Cartnell Flats. It was burned down in the calamity, and those who died were laid to rest here. My parents among them. It's hardly an uncommon tale. After the dread primal emerged from Dalamod, he unleashed fiery devastation across the length and breadth of Eorzea. But as much as the calamity has scarred the realm, it is quickly becoming just another event in the history books. Yeah. Beyond occasionally giving thanks to the Archons that Eorzea was saved, people spare a little thought. But when you've lost so many loved ones, it's hard to feel that anything was saved. That's why I wish to know more about Lalafell. By learning about his part in Eorzea's salvation, I hope that I will obtain closure. Look, the thing about it all is they did not. They were trying to drop Dalamud onto Eorzea. They did not. The thing is, though, during the operation, because the Empire was trying to do that. The Garlean Empire tried to drop Dalamud onto Eorzea. But the problem was, the leader that was doing the operation, known as Operation Meteor, he was actually being controlled by Bahamut the whole time. It's why it was suggested to drop Dalamud in the first place. But it was too late. Nobody even knew what was really going on until it opened up and Bahamut became free. No one expected that to happen, except for the one being controlled. It's all in the Bajan storyline. If you ever do it, you can find out that whole entire story about what was really going on there during Operation Meteor. So this won't bring you closure. That's my motivation for writing the biography, because the only way you'll find closure is realize nobody knew what was going on in the end of it all. Now then, in preparation for the interview, let's review what is known about our subject. It's difficult to define exactly when the seventh Umbral Calamity was set in motion. Many historians, however, point to the Empire's Meteor Project, which sought to bring Dalamud down upon Eorzea. That was it. Oh. It was the year 1562 of the Sixth Umbral Era. Seeking to combat the Imperial threat, Lalafell founded the Circle of Knowing, an order whose objective was the preservation of Eorzea. Through its members, the Archons of Charlene, the Circle worked to unite the nations of Eorzea in common cause. The result was the formation of the Grand Companies in the three city-states, the Immortal Flames, the Order of the Twin Antlers, and the Maelstrom. None of these would exist now were it not for their efforts. Really? And then in the year 1572, when the situation was coming to a head, Lalafell himself made the journey to Eorzea in secret and engaged with each of the nations. What took place during that time is what I seek to learn in the interview. Nobody's going to tell you that. They will probably take those words to their graves. The man we're due to meet is the contact for the Free Brigade, a unit formed of adventurers, and he apparently had Lalafell's assistance for a mission. The meeting place is Highbridge, to the northeast. More or less time now, so let's make our way there. Interesting. So yeah, we're not going to be able to get much story done. Because after this, I was going to take a tiny little break, go do Hildebrand, take a tiny little break, and... That's what I'm getting burnt out on with this game, really, is the fact that I'm grinding to help people do stuff, and it's kind of like, I've done it 1,000 times for everybody else, and it's like, I don't wanna. I wanna just get what I need to get up to par up to date on content and stuff in the game, and then just walk away for a bit. But oh well, I put myself in this position when I joined, when I helped create the FC, because I'm one of its founders. You're the one who's seeking an interview? I must say, I wasn't expecting to see the champion of Eurasia. I'm not sure, no. The writer who made the request, and Rano is kindly accompanying me for the interview. I can't thank you enough for taking the time out of your busy schedule to humor me. Come now, no need for the thing. Like everyone, I hold Louis Law in the highest esteem. If you wish to know about him, Poland, Arby is always glad to oblige. Oh, Flame Lieutenant. I'm a captain, though. Oh wait, no. I'm a captain in the I'm not a captain at all for the Immortal Flames. Actually, I have no character that is a captain. I'm only a captain as Ron for Maelstrom. Without further ado, then let's begin. My understanding is you had dealings with Lalafell. Would you please tell me the detail? As you know, our grand companies were formed thanks to the Circle of Knowing, but it wasn't until Dalamu began turning red that Lalafell first appeared. So they are going to say everything, huh? It began with the word that an elderly Elizan man had come to Gardania who held the key to vanquishing criminals. Upon learning of this, I sent an adventurer of the Free Brigade to make contact with him. I later learned that the Maelstrom and the Order of the Twin Adler had done the very same. At that time, these weren't yet collaborating. Each one only thought to stay ahead of the others. But truth be told, at first we didn't think much of Louis Law. Only that he was the leader of scholars who studied particular prophecies. But when the adventurer reported back, our opinion of the man completely changed. With his spellcraft, Louis Law had opened the way into Ifrit's domain, and by the hand of dauntless adventurers, the Lord of the Inferno was brought low. Alas, many defeats preceded that victory. It was reported that countless charred corpses laid strewed in the bowl of embers. Now the mission also yielded a shocking revelation. Following the battle, now Van Dorius of the 8th Imperial Legion appeared and told the adventurer that the hour of reckoning was at hand, that Dalamud would soon fall and cleanse the land. Okay, so the adventurer they sent is supposed to be your character. So I wonder, if anyone played 1.0 all the way up to the end, I wonder if this story is actually different. Like, they'll recognize and realize who you are, and it's like, you're the very adventurer that went there. You're the one I sent. That was when we realized that the Empire was behind the Red Moon's anomaly. They're literally trying to tell you what 1.0 was, the story. So thanks to Lord Swan, you came to be aware of the Meteor Project. Still, it doesn't seem like you had much to act upon. Get him right. As you say, afterwards we scrambled to learn all we could about the project. For a blessing, we had the cooperation of a Garlean defector, Sig Garland, whom you know well. He revealed the details of the project, that it utilized a transmission tower to pluck Dalamud from the heavens, all for the purpose of purging us savages from the realm. There's more to it. I could continue telling you what I know, but from this point on, there is someone better suited than I am. Dinners, I would be glad to introduce you to this individual. What say you? Well now, we'd be keen to speak with this person indeed. Very well. Now send word to the Adler's Nest. If you could take yourselves to Apico Falls, I will arrange for a meeting there. Go to such lengths to help us. I can't say how grateful I am. Do not mention it. As I said, I hold Lalafell in the highest esteem. He was the one who brought our three nations together. Nothing would please me more than have him to be remembered. Well, it's past time I return to Uda. I pray that the coming interview bears you fruit. Okay. And then he vanishes. It just disappears into thin air. It's like, it's for real. The lieutenant certainly has great respect for Lalafell. And thanks to him, we have another promising interview. Come, let's head to Gordania, where the Archon had so journeyed. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, bum, bum. Oh, we are going to Gordania. So this is Lalafell Falls. Conspicuous with its lack of the creatures outside. It's quite a beautiful place. Now then, the person where the meet should be along shortly. Well. Oh. Why's the music different? I was told there were those who wished to learn about Lalafell, and who should one of them be but the champion of Erosia? Well met, I am Lieutenant Cyro Folk of the Order of the Ten Adler. I just wave. I'm like, hi, how's it going? He bows and I just wave like it's normal. At your service. Thank you for sparing the time to speak with us. Think nothing of it. I must say though that Lieutenant Arby chose the perfect spot for the subject matter. Lalafell spent much time in rumination here in the days before the calamity, Gridarians being somewhat reserved by nature. At first, the citizens kept their distance. But in time, people warmed to him. He patiently lent an ear to their troubles, healing hurts, and offering counsel, gradually earned their trust. To ignore the plight of those one might conceivably save is not wisdom. It is indolence. Lalafell spoke those words and lived up to them. He was the entropy of a Charlian sage, and I recall myself being moved. He was a sage? Is it the job? Now, shortly after we had become aware of the meteor project, the hamlet of Quarrymill was attacked by the Primal Garuda. Both soldiers and civilians were among the casualties. The Order? The Order of the Twin Adler moved to vanquish the Primal, but we were not alone, though Louis Wall's meditation, we had the support of not only our sister grand companies, but capable adventurers the realm over besides. Using an artifact known as the Vortex Feather, the Archon opened the way for a band of adventurers to sally forth into this turbulent domain, where they felled the fearsome being. Upon her defeat, however, the Primal's dispensed ether did not return to the land. Instead, it was absorbed into the Red Moon Dalamud? What? That's new information. When the Empire constructed a new base in Mordor, the Elder Sea Stayer saw the need for decisive action and put forth a proposal, the formal reformation of the Eorzean Alliance, which had so long lain dormant. The initial response from the other nations was lukewarm at best. They felt that the burden to be borne by each party was excessive, and they were loath to do aught that would place them at a disadvantage against their rivals. But the revelation that a lunar transmitter had been erected in the Imperial base prompted a change of heart. The tower controlled Dalamud's descent. If it could be destroyed, then the meteor project would be forestalled. After having constantly been on the back foot, our nations were motivated to join hands, that we might strike a decisive blow against the enemy. Thus was the Eorzean Alliance reformed. As the Circle of Knowing had hoped. At the same juncture, Louis was asked to join the Alliance as a tactician, and in that capacity he provided sage counsel to our heads of state. So although he was at first treated with wariness, Louis earned our trust through his actions and paved the way to enduring cooperation between our nations. Indeed, were it not for him, we all would have perished divided. We owe Louis a great debt. Now then, I expect you might be interested in hearing about the operation to destroy the lunar transmitter. But for that tale, I would recommend you seek out another, a decorated soldier who actually took part in the operation. Although a hardened warrior, she is quite friendly and should be glad to regale you with her experiences. Shall I send her word on your behalf? We would be duly grateful. Very well, if you could take yourselves to the Maelstrom Command and Limsa Laminsa, I shall see to it that she knows to expect you. With that, I shall take my leave. I pray that the biography is a success. Alright. Everyone has been more helpful than I had dared to hope. It seems Louis had quite an influence on others. I don't know. I came after the whole incident. That interview gave us some valuable insights into his character, and I'm eager to see what we learn in the next. Come, let's head to Limsa Laminsa. I really wish I could have played Final Fantasy XIV 1.0. It's a shame. I'll never get that experience. Because I don't think... like, people are trying to do it. But the problem is, apparently the game was just optimized so terribly to the point where it's like, you had to have... Like, if you actually did not have, like, a very, like, advanced or, like the latest up-to-date computer, even though it was also on, I think it was on the PS3 as well. But it was just terrible. It was a badly optimized, it was a badly optimized, game, apparently. Like, it would devour your system. And there it is. Maelstrom Command. Shall we then? Oh, let's go. Now this is my territory. This is Ron's territory. Just say it. Captain Stoppable. Thank you. Ever a sight for sore eyes. You must be Nalanji. Rather Ricky. Rikai. At your service. I understand you wish to hear about the operation to destroy the lunar transmitter. Indeed, I'm penning a biography of the Archon's Lalafell, you see, for which I'm interviewing people who had dealings with him. I truly appreciate your time. You're very welcome. I would be glad to assist you, even if it wasn't a request from Lieutenant Fluke. I didn't expect that. Now then, continue where you left off. It was shortly after the Eorzean Alliance was formed. Our scouts returned with word that the 7th Legion had activated the lunar transmitter in the fortress in Mordora, now known as Castrum Sentry. The fortress was originally called Castrum Novum before the 14th restored and renamed it. It was in order to break through its defenses and destroy the transmitter that our three nations joined hands, and we were determined to succeed. The strategy that Lalafell proposed was elegant in its simplicity, while our main forces drew the Garlean's attentions with an all-out siege, and an elite band of adventurers would infiltrate the castrum and make for our objective. So I'm going to take a guess that we did succeed, but by that time it was too late. Because I think the plan was to get Dalamud close enough to the source, to the planet itself, so that it could absorb ether, and then Bahamut would absorb the ether and then break free. We had entrusted adventurers with ridding us of the primals. Now we entrust them with the very fate of Eorzea. I still remember the operation as if it were yesterday. Though we met with fierce resistance, we fought more fiercely still. No matter the cost, we had to ensure that the adventurers had a chance to strike at the transmitter. And when the messenger arrived bearing the word that they had succeeded, it still makes my heart soar to recall that moment of triumph. That day we learned that by standing together, the people of Eorzea could oppose even the might of the Empire. It's no exaggeration to say that victory paved the way to Eorzea's future. Without it, there would not have been an Operation Archon. Alas, it wasn't all glad tidings. For though we destroyed the transmitter, Nal Van Darnus appeared and claimed that he no longer needed the device to bring down Dalamud, that he himself had the power to do so. What? So long as Van Darnus lived, the threat of destruction remained, and so, branding him an enemy to all life in Eorzea, the nations of the Alliance undertook a desperate manhunt. At length, they located him in Carthage and sent their greatest warriors to hunt him down. Leading that formidable band was the adventurer whom they called the Warrior of Light. And though no records remain of the fierce encounter, one thing is certain: at battle's conclusion, now Vandaris was brought low. As you know, however, our woes did not end with the White Raven. For Lalafell and his disciples determined that Dalamud would continue to fall. In a last-ditch bid to prevent the realm's annihilation, the Circle Unknown issued a request to the Eurasian Alliance to secure the Cardinal Flats, where the Red Moon was expected to crash. What? 'Tis no simple task, for the entirety of the 7th Legion had amassed in Carthage. But it was necessary in order to perform a ritual to stop Dalamud, a ritual that invoked the power of the 12, which we learned when they called the 12, it wasn't the actual real 12. It was the primal version of the 12, and eventually it wasn't the true 12. So it was that the Battle of Carthage was joined. And I dare say you know how the tale continues. To everyone's shock, the elder primal Bahamut emerged from Dalamud and proceeded to unleash his fury upon the realm. And though all bore witness to as Lalafell initiated the ritual, none remember what came to pass afterwards. Neither what happened to Bahamut, nor why the realm was reborn. The haze that afflicted memories of the calamity. But people remember events prior to that moment, yes. If so, do you know if anyone was near Lalafell during the battle? Someone who may have spoken with him? If someone was near him, I'm afraid I do not know. He was atop a rise for the ritual, while I was a good distance away from the front lines. My apologies. No, please don't apologize. You shared a wealth of information. I couldn't ask for more. That's the weird part, everyone says, that their memories, like, Bahamut appeared, and then that was it. No one remembers what happened afterwards. They just suddenly, all that, it was, those few moments after are completely gone. Why, if you're satisfied, then so am I. With that, I shall return to my duties. I look forward to reading the biography when it's finished. Like, anyone who was there, who witnessed Bahamut and stuff, those moments after are gone for somehow. It's either a powerful magic that he cast happened, or it's just the shock of no one wanting to remember. And they're afraid to remember. So they just say, we don't know. It's blocked out of our minds. Haze. Now I have a grasp of events leading up to the calamity. And yet? Well, forgive me, I was in deep thought. In no small part due to your help, I've managed to learn a great deal. But there's still more I wish to know. Trouble you to accompany me a little longer if you're willing, please let me know. Oh. Preserving the future. Alright, I'm gonna stop here and then we'll pick this up after I'm done doing whatchamacallit. Yeah. I have to go and do this. I have to. So, yeah. Alright, we're back. We get to finally finish this story. There's the frame. Here we go. You'll continue accompanying me then? Wonderful. Come, let's head to the Drowning Wench to discuss our next move. Ooh, I haven't been there in a while. I haven't hung out Drowning Wench. What the Adventure Guild is. Our research proceeds apace so far. We've even learned things not found in literature. But tell me, based on what you've heard of our interviews, What is your opinion of Louis Swan? Historian leader, he had a difficult task. Others deserve more credit. You know, he had a difficult task. Indeed. From an imperial invasion to rampaging primals, to now Vandaris' scheme, he had to contend with the toughest of problems. What struck me was how grateful the interviewees were to Louis for bringing their nations together in cooperation. It was nothing short of necessity for survival. And in knowing this, I can't help but wonder, in his capacity as a tactician, it seemed to me he had done more than enough by devising a plan and facilitating its execution. He went far beyond that, risking life and limb on the front line for a land not his own. Perhaps he needed to be there for the ritual. Perhaps he felt a sense of duty. Even so, as noble as it is to desire to help others, what's good is it for you if you end up sacrificing yourself? What was it that compelled Louis to go to Carthano? And what went through his mind as the battle unfolded? In order to do his biography justice, I feel I need to know these things. The only way you're going to get those answers is talking to the twins, or we tell him about the Quarrels incident. Because we ran into Louis as a Phoenix. Because he became the Phoenix in order to defeat Bahamut. If Louis had people near him at the time, perhaps he shared words with them in his final moments, words that could provide some insight, but where to begin search for such individuals, assuming they exist? Alright friends, but I couldn't help but overhear your conversation. Just so happened, I know a bloke has served among Louis' guard at Carthano. What? What? Truly? You know someone who was with him? Aye, far as I'm aware, he wasn't keeping the fact a secret. Just for good measure though, why do you want to speak with him? Louis' biography? In that case, I reckon the bloke would be willing to cooperate. Oren Gungum is his name, and he was a lieutenant of the Maelstrom. After the calamity, he turned to adventuring so as to be a greater help to the common folk. A Maelstrom officer turned adventurer? We'd be most keen to speak with him. Where might he be? When Lauren dropped in the other day, he said that he had business at the Morbidy Docks. If you're lucky, it might be as he's still there. Understood. We're in your debt. We can't let this chance pass us by, Rana. Let's take ourselves to the dry docks once. The dry docks! Nice. Oh boy, driver. Ah. Right. Where could Owen be? In hindsight, we should have asked what he looks like. Name would suggest he's a Midlander, but no, nothing for it but to make inquiries. Let's split up for the task and meet again here. Excuse me. Excuse me. Do you know? It'd be funny if we could just ask actual players. She's like, excuse me. I'll tell you what, right? I thought I'd gotten better at inquiries, but it's not so easy if they aren't already inclined to speak. How do you do it day in and day out? Wait. Oh yeah, I was gonna say, the way he's standing there, you'd think he was actually an NPC with that minion. And it's like, wait, NPCs can't have minions of that scale. That means he ran Eureka a few times to get that, or bought it. Most likely bought it. Veteran shipper. Looking for an Orangutan. You say don't know anyone by that name? I'm afraid. I did walk by an unfamiliar fellow just now, though. Over by the mark of the spinner, he had a flower in his hand, so he caught my eye. As it happens, I spoke with him just earlier. He said he wanted to buy flowers. I directed him to a vendor. Not sure where he is as of now, though. No, I don't know where he is. I'm sorry, but I've only just started helping out here. I'm still learning our customers' names. I couldn't say if it's the person you're after, but a man did come by bought a namely Lily that we're currently trialing. I have an inkling as to where Orin might be. Oh. So he likes those flowers. Someone actually, someone special that loves those flowers. Oh, my brain. Hey, Rano, were you able to learn anything? So a man who could be Orin bought Namira Lily. Then went to the mark of the spinner. If we hurry there, we might be able to find him. Let's go. Mark of the spinner. Isn't that one of the... Oh. Mark of the Spinner is one of the 12. Yeah. Here. The Spinner. I gotta find the builder one day. I need to pray in front of the builder one because that's mine. Beg your pardon, but are you Lieutenant Warren Guncombe? No. Haven't been a lieutenant for years, but aye, that's me. What can I do for you? I realize this is sudden, but so you're writing Lewis Hawes' biography and went to hear my account as someone who was near on hand at Carthano. There must be a reason that you're here too. The warrior of light who led us to victory in Operation Archon. Very well. I will tell you my tale. Well, no. See, that's the weird part is they think he assumes that I'm the one that was there. Unless there was a... Because, like I said, if you played 1.0, you can actually have a legacy character that can be moved... that can be moved over to Realm Reborn. And thus, everybody will remember who you are. That's why everybody's minds are a little hazy, because technically, they are meant to forget the Warrior of Light. No, not to, unless you did that, then they're all like, oh, it's you. So it's kind of odd to be called that when I wasn't even involved, because I've already wrote the storyline where Ron is from Earth, but when the Bahamut incident happened, it caused a rift to open and he got teleported exactly where Bahamut was freed at the end of it all, when it was all over. And he's just been living on the source ever since. So, let's disregard that he was ever there. Let's discard that piece of information. Now then, where to begin? As you know, the battle was fought over the land where Dalamode was expected to fall. In the beginning, neither side was able to gain the upper hand. When the Imperials deployed their magic tech armors, our ranks were thrown into disarray. Those charged with protecting Loswa, like me, could only watch the carnage from afar. And though our forces managed to hold out thanks to the adventurer contingents, we sustained grievous casualties. The real tragedy was what followed. As Dalamode hurled towards us, it began shedding fragments of itself before finally bursting over to unleash the primal Bahamut. As all below looked on in shock, the battle completely forgotten, Bahamut took wing and spewed fire over the land. Men in magic tech armor alike were set ablaze and sent flying like so many insects. I only realized that I had stopped breathing when a commanding officer broke my trance. "You're done enough," Lewis Hall told us. "Now fly. Fly and save yourselves." But like my fellow But like my fellow guards, I wanted to remain. I couldn't charge into battle beside my comrades. At the least, I would continue my duty here and protect Louis Law to the last. But upon seeing us standing there, not making a move, held small and spoke to us. If you would give your lives to protect something, then protect my hopes. Every soul who lives to determine their own fate is a source of hope. Bright and brilliant, so live, I bid you. Be among those who bear the light for others to follow. Those words awaken us to a greater purpose. If there was hope in my living, then I would live as Louis bid. No matter what, I would survive, and so together with my fellows, I began making my retreat. Alas, we hadn't gotten far when an explosion erupted and sent us sprawling. I struggled to my feet just in time to see the enormous, menacing silhouette of Bahamut looming over Louis Law. In the next instant, he was enveloped in light, and that was the last I remember of him. Louis Law's final. Amidst that light, he looked to be smiling. What he was thinking in that moment, I couldn't say, but one thing was certain. We, all of us, are alive thanks to him. Following the calamity, it was reported that Louis Law had defeated Bahamut and said about the land's miraculous regeneration. Do you believe this is the truth? No. We know that's not true. Every soul who lives to determine their own fate is a source of hope. What we've learned has reaffirmed my belief, Ronald. The belief that Louis Law was not an all-powerful savior one reads in tales, but merely an ordinary man. But that man never forsook Orzia. No, he stood for this realm to the last. He and countless other brave souls, and saved it from becoming a scorched waste. Against unimaginable adversaries he fought, and at the cost of his life paved the way to a brighter future for us all. The least I can do in return is tell his story, spread his message that where there is life, there is hope. Thanks to your account, I believe I found an angle for the biography. I'm truly grateful. Would you care to offer a prayer as well? A prayer that the light of hope which Louis Law preserved shall burn bright. Allow me to thank you again for recounting your experiences to us. Nay, 'tis I who owes you thanks for giving me the chance to share Lewis Hall's words. All these years, I had avoided I had avoided talking of the moment of his passing out of respect, but not due to take the tale to my grave. Through the biography, it is my hope that his spirit will live on in all of us. Now then, if you excuse me, I shall resume my pilgrimage to the marks. Wherever your travels take you, I shall be praying for your safety. The mirror's lilies, the symbol of safe passage. As Lorisal stood there and caught them, I wondered if he likewise prayed for someone's safety. At any rate, these interviews have yielded everything I had hoped for and more. Come, let's return to Uda. I'll have your reward for you at Uda in the Hall of Flames. Yeah. Bam. Oh. There you are. I ended up troubling you longer than I intended. But it was a truly fruitful series of interviews. How fortunate that we could hear from those who lived that fateful night, that fateful time. While I still have many questions, the biography is beginning to take shape in my mind. I also feel as though I've attained a measure of closure. Lewis Hall fought simply as one of us, and he made the ultimate sacrifice that hope might endure. This I've come to realize and appreciate thanks to everyone's heartfelt testimonies. Now then, last but not least, I'd like to ask you for your thoughts on some. According to Orin, Lewis Hall smiled in his final moment. As he was enveloped in white, what do you imagine he held in his mind? Honestly, the image of mankind thriving in the future. But it is also pointless to speculate on things, because we'll never truly know. We can't assume what we know what's going through someone's head. I appreciate your thoughts. As I pen the biography, I'll be certain to remember your words. Well, sad though it is, it's time for us to part ways. I'll set to work on a draft, and I won't rest until the biography goes to print. Thank you for all your support, your help, my friend. I couldn't have come this far without you. There it is. Yay. The man, the myth, the legend. Like I've said, if you want to know more about Bahamut, the Meteor Project, what happened to Lewis Hall afterwards, and such, like anything connected to those things, it's best to do the Quarrels of Bahamut storyline and do the Bajin story. Those two will give you not the entirety of the Bajin storyline, though. You don't have to do the whole thing to get what you need, based on what happened. But I guess the first 30% of Bajan will let you know, um, will kind of tell you what you need to know of what happened. And most of all, why the Meteor Project even happened in the first place. What is my, it's builder, right? Yeah, mark of the builder. It's in South Shroud, Northwest Cape. The thing is, I've never gone to look for my builder seal, like mark. My mark. It said South Stroud, northwest of Cape 2. Okay, it should be. Right? No, you can't land with this. Oh, it's closer, I think. Is this it? Yep. No, wait. Is it? Yeah, that's it. There it is. Yeah, there it is. I found the builder mark. Yep. There you go. Now let us do a prayer. Let us pray to God, Father God. So that is his judgeful hand, his hammer of judgment can be shall wield on everything we create. That's not the one. That's not the prayer. Pay respects. That's what it is. There we go. Pay our respects. But yeah, that's it. That's the entirety of the Rising of It. Finally got it done. Alright, okay. Alright, so I guess it's time to do PvP for the next 20 hours. Yeah, for the next 2.5 hours. So I gotta get... Oh, I have Zodiac's card. Oh, interesting. Yeah, because we gotta get... Oh. We gotta get to 300. 300. We can also turn